the DA-100 4-day instructor-led class for August the 17th to 20th and October the 19th to the 23rd. To enter, you need to go and email me at, let me just go and put it on the screen now, Neil@Beacon Intel. And what you need to do is give me a keyword, and I'm going to say use the word mixer or laptop or barrier, and put any of those in there and email me, and we will do the draw at 8:50. That's 2050. So in about 15 minutes time. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of Power BI kind of review, going to look at some content in the Microsoft Learn, going to tell you a bit more about some of the upcoming content we will be sharing. I will need to say also a big thank you to Adam Saxton from GynaCube. Nearly got the name wrong now for a moment. Sorry, Adam. For some reason, I was thinking of another name. Anyway, Adam Saxton, GynaCube, gave us a shout out for our DA-100 playlist. And we had an amazing people coming over, checking us out, seeing what we had. And hopefully you've been one of those. If you're not and you're new here and you haven't click subscribe yet, please do that. Give us a thumbs up and get notified when you have new content to share. And we are going to be doing content, and I've said this a few times now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week from August through to November. Now, I will say we kind of came a bit unstuck earlier this week due to a few tech issues with my hardware. I had to rebuild an OS, and just kind of the time kind of ran away from us a little bit. So in that sense, what we've done is we have allocated some time this week. I've got it in my diary, it's scheduled out to do all these episodes that I'm slightly behind on. So by the end of this week, I will have all the episodes of 1, 2, 3 for last week and 4, 5, 6 for this week out. So there'll be the first 6 episodes out. The live streams happen every day in August, 8:30 BST. Come and join us. It's 30, 35 minutes, depends on the time. It's very warm, so we're trying to keep it nice and short right now. And I will say, actually, can you just give me a rating if you like the background? I kind of did a bit of a neon review there, so kind of screwing over a little bit there. We've got a few colors kind of there, just to give you a bit of a pop in the back, just to kind of take away from this a little bit. And hopefully, I'm trying to lighten it, but I can see we're a bit dark today, so I need to keep the lights down a little bit because they're so bright and they're so hot when they're bright. So I'm kind of compromising with the colouring and Neil being able to survive the heat. Let's go look at some Power BI. So I'm going to go over to let's grab the cursor. I did have an application that highlighted it, but let me kind of find that there. So bring this over and put that into the window. Okay, so we're going to go into the Microsoft Learn, and we're going to come down, and I'm just going to kind of showcase, if you are new to Microsoft Learn, come down, and there's a number of roles that are available. And one of the roles that we want to look at is this data analyst role. So this is all about kind of data analytics and the kind of Power BI, and there's a whole bunch of different learning paths. And the one we're going to go and do today is we're going to look at the, where was it here? Clean and transform and load data. So we're coming down here, and the reason why I'm doing this one is we're going to look at profiling the data tonight. This is essentially looking at the additional capabilities with Power BI. So we're going to go and open up a Power BI report. So I'm going to start a brand new one. So Power BI. And if you're not familiar with Dashboard in the Day, which is a 1-day course, I'm going to be doing a full Dashboard in the Day in September sometime. I'm figuring out exactly which day. I've got to kind of juggle things around a little bit, but I'm going to do a brand new report here. I'm going to bring some data in. I'm going to just do a quick kind of profile. So this is an empty Power BI report. Now, I will say I'm not zooming on this because every time I've done that recently, it's caused me a whole bunch of issues, and I need to try and work out how to do things a little bit different without the zoom in causing me to crash. I think maybe I just need to go and practice how I'm doing that with this specific zoom. But I'm going to go to get data on the ribbon, and I'm going to go and choose the more, which is the bottom. And in there, I get the list come up, and this is going to be, and I kind of maybe can't get any further in, access database. Now, I'm putting the link description below, actually where you can access this access database. It's in the Power BI Microsoft Learn description. So go down, we can see where that is. But I'm just going to open that up because I want to showcase really just any data you bring in where kind of we can access the, oh, wrong one, go to be this one here, access. I'm going to grab my access database here. And I put it in yesterday's link, by the way, so it's already there in yesterday's, and I'll put it in today's description as well. So I'm going to just grab all of these files. The reason I'll go and show you the reason why I'm grabbing all of them. So I'm just going to grab all of them. I'm going to do transform and load. So I want to put it into the Power Query Editor. Okay, so this is where we can figure out if there's changes, removing columns, changing data types, enhancing the data, and we can use the mQuery language to do a bunch of process and then clean up data. So let me kind of just refresh it because a couple of days ago since I last looked at this, it's not changed. But I've got all of the, on the left-hand side, I've got BI date, BI manufacturer, product, sales facts, sentiment, and geo. So I've got all the different tables or queries that came from the Microsoft Access database. But you notice on the top here, I've got, and I'm just going to go to the view menu and kind of turn them off so we can kind of start through them one at a time. So I've just got the column name there and I've got data underneath that. And I'm going to go and pick the column quality under the data preview. So it's view on the menu, data preview on the ribbon, and in there, click column quality. And you'll see that we get an initial quality, like how many are valid, if there's any errors. This is the first thing I want to check is, does this data have any errors? Is there any empty cells? If so, we can see here for region, it is all empty, completely empty. You know what? If that is empty, either the data obviously was empty, probably in the database. So you know what? I can get rid of that column. I'm just going to do a remove. And if you look over the right-hand side, you'll notice that we have this remove columns now listed in the applied steps. Okay. If I go to the advanced editor and click on there, you'll see that we've got an additional step now for remove columns, and it's table.remove columns, and it's given the name of the column, so the table and the column name. So it's very easy to kind of go and look at that. And that's an additional step. So what it's done is it's gone to the source. It's gone to grab this specific data set. And we've also then gone and removed a column from that. So if I step back up, close that, cancel on that, step back up to navigation, the column's still there. Now, it's basically going to this one. It's then going, I want this table called Geo. I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to remove the column. So we've got the distinct steps being applied. So when I upload this and apply this, it's going to run through all those steps individually and apply them. Let's go look at another one, which is probably a bit more interesting. Oh, and also look here, they're all text. So ABC is obviously text, and look at the data, it is all text. It's got a combination of, you know, numeric and data and text data in there. So nothing else really fancy in that one. Sentiment. Well, what we have here is we've got a few different data types. We've got date ID, and actually looking at it, it looks like it's all, let's kind of just do a drop down. We kind of load more, just kind of see if it's going to, it basically looks to me that's all numbers. Okay, so I'm going to change that to a whole line, whole number there. Remember, we still got the information, valid, error, and empty, and I'm looking through, and there's nothing else empty here, and everything else is valid. Cool. Let's go and add in column distribution. Now I can see we have one distinct value. It is only 7. Here I can see we have 49 distinct, and if I look at the bottom, we have over 1,000 rows. So essentially we've got, you know, kind of state ID. There's 49 states according to this in terms of how many different IDs we have. Under the manufacturing ID, I've got 14 distinct, so 14 different manufacturers, etc., etc. And you can see kind of, it's pretty much 49 or 14, there's 81 there. Cool. And we've got some different data types. Now let's look at column profile. So click on this. Now when I'm holding on state ID, you can see kind of the distribution. Let me kind of, I wouldn't probably have it normally this big. I just want to kind of show you. So we have some column statistics, and we have also the values as well. So this is great to kind of just walk through and just have a quick look at what the distribution is, kind of what the values are, you know, looking down. Is there something that's maybe got a misspelling? So it's kind of spelt differently, and it would look into 2 different categories here. So kind of these are the things I'm trying to figure out by doing this kind of additional profile and additional understanding. So that's a quick kind of example of that. Let me just minimize that for a moment. Look at the time clock. We've got a few more minutes. That's great. Okay. I'm just going to go and check if we have any entry. So we have a couple more entries come in. Okay, so it looks like my Power BI one, I was having an issue with this and I thought I fixed it. So I kind of reset it up. Tom, you're in, don't worry. If you can't, guys, get in, come to, let's go and add up my, where was the tweet there? Let's go and grab it again. So if you've got time, you can come to neil@beaconintel.co.uk, email me one of those keywords from last week or the one I mentioned earlier. So insights, barrier, sample, laptop, any of those, and come in for the competition. We've got a handful of people already in, and this is for tonight's draw. If you're not successful tonight, you're automatically entered into tomorrow's draw and the third draw as well. So we got one tomorrow and we got one on, what day is it now? Tuesday. I always forget which day of the week it is. So we got one today and we got one on Wednesday and one on Thursday. If you don't get one of the training seats, don't worry, we've got a 50% discount that we're going to be emailing to everyone who wasn't a winner that emailed in. And you'll be able to take advantage of that 50% discount, by the way. Is not only August, but also October. We realize August kind of next week is a bit close to having people being able to kind of come on that one. So we're going to extend you to go into the other one as well. And yeah, let's go back to this one here. It's gonna check we got nothing else there. Cool. So let's go back to the, where was it? This one here. And can you go back? So we can see we did the profile and we explained that there, and it gives you a bit more information in here. And what we're going to do now is just do close and apply on that. And what you'll see is happening when we do the close and apply, which is home and close and apply, is going to load that data now into that Power BI. You'll see here now it says waiting on other queries, evaluating, creating the connection, loading data. It would load data and then it would do the relationships. It would kind of find out relationships we have, and then we'll have that data loaded. Now we won't have any visuals built. We won't have any of the additional stuff, but if we click on continue here, while that's loading, we can go and see the difference. And I'm going to just go and grab that once this is loaded and go and say all the steps I just did. I could go and take the kind of advanced M query and take that out and version control it. So I can go and take this, essentially these steps. And I'm going to take one example and I'm going to grab that and put it into a blank query and just replace that template information with the query, and we've got another copy. So often I do this if I want to just like want to tweak with something and I want to leave the one I have alone, I'll go and create a blank one, create the M query, put it in, build a version, play with it, go and see if that does what I need it to do. But I'm not playing with the old one, so I don't have to kind of keep coming back and forth and changing it. When I'm happy, I can kind of work out which one of those I want to apply. And what I do is I'll take the M query, put it into the one I actually want to keep, supply it, commit, and then get rid of the other copy. So this is nearly done. And the BI sales fact tables, the one's kind of taking a few more moments. We have about 2 or 3 more minutes, by the way, for that query. So if you want to kind of do your final kind of opportunity to send me an email, Neil@Beacon and get one of the code words, insights, barrier, sampled laptop, mixer. There was, I think, one other, I can't remember. Get that email in, because we will be doing the draw in 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, one of those two. When my timer cuts at 10:50, 8:50, I should say. So we just had a quick one there. So the high score, by the way, inside that we just have a video kind of comment. Now I don't think it's come through on my YouTube account, but basically the high score one can achieve in DA, it's out of 1,000 points. You need 700 or higher. If you get 700, you got a pass. If you get 699, you have a fail. It's simply a pass or fail. 700 is the mark that you need to achieve or higher. If you get 1,000, great. If you get 701, that's perfect as well. You've got a pass or fail. And that will give you the Microsoft Certified Data Analyst Associate certification. Okay, so hopefully that's answered your question there. If you have any more questions, put those in the chat window. If you're new here, please subscribe. I do have a button somewhere about subscribe, but I can't find it. This is all fairly new to us. You may have seen Adam Sackton's kind of YouTube from yesterday, when he said like, hey, you know, look at what we're doing over here on the Data Plus Train channel about the DA-100 certification. We've got 52 videos that we're going to be putting together for you, 13 per month for 4 months. I say I should have all 6 of them, the first 6 loaded by the end of this week, and then every Monday, Wednesday, Friday going forward. And I'm going to put getting a few kind of in the bag ahead of the time, at least maybe the next week's done. So at least I've got those ready. They're scheduled in the system. They will go out automatically, even if I'm not around to click the button. Okay, so we are going to be, let me kind of just look at the time. We got 30 seconds. So one last chance to go and grab the, let me kind of just do the final one. This is your final chance for today, but you can enter at any point. And if you, after today's draw, we will let you come and kind of enter tomorrow and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Okay, let me kind of do the draw. Let's kind of go and grab my system. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 emails. Okay, not a lot of emails, but you know, one of you 8 lucky people will actually now get the conversion. So I'm going to do a random draw. Let me kind of just do SSMS. Love doing the randoms. Okay, I'm going to see if I can load that up. So actually I have a better randomizer. Alexa, random number between 1 and 8.
Your random number between 1 and 8 is 6.
Thank you, Alexa. Okay, quick and easy. Didn't have to spend any more time on that. Number 6, let's have a look down through the list. So we have, gonna go and find the entries. Actually, not there. It's in the other system. So I won't show you the other one. I'm just going to cut over because essentially this is a spreadsheet with a bunch of other vital information in it. But let me go and have a look. So I've got Tom. I've got, let's have a look. Okay. And the one that came in, if I can find it, we go. Where was it? Got to find the spreadsheet. I've lost the spreadsheet. I wasn't very clever. I had it earlier. I closed it out by mistake. Okay. So we have. Where was the one? Okay. All right. Sorry about this. I had the spreadsheet. I'm trying to find it. I must have moved it. What did I do with that spreadsheet? Not a good choice, Neil. Let's have a quick look. Okay. We have. Okay, you know what? I can't find the spreadsheet at the moment. I know it's number 6. I will email out the winner. If you don't get an email from me within the next 30 minutes, you didn't win. And I will announce the winner once they've confirmed tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream. For those who didn't win, you will automatically be entered in tomorrow's draw. And I will have the email strip out there and we'll be able to kind of see who the winner is. So I apologize. I thought I had it kind of all prepped up, but I restarted my machine because it was a bit slow and I must have lost where I had it. Okay. So we do have a winner. Number 6, though, out of 8. So there was 8 entries and number 6 was the winner. I will email that person once I kind of can get back to the list. Okay. So let's go back to where we were in terms of and I've got you in suspense now. I was like, did I win? Did I not win? You will be notified. And don't worry, everyone's going to get a good chance to get a discount if they don't win today. And with 2 more draws. Okay, so let me go back to the spreadsheet. Well, it's not the spreadsheet. Go back to the Microsoft Learn. So what we were doing here is applying that into our Power BI. We've done that, and we do have the BI date, the BI geo, BI manufacturer. And if I go into those data sets, you'll notice that there are, kind of auto-arrange that a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to move some of the stuff around because it's too doesn't do it really that well. Not being too critical, but it kind of it's obviously designed to kind of do something. So what I want to do here is I want to personally myself, I kind of have some preferences at how I do things. So I wanted to get the ones where I've got essentially the arrows going. It's the wrong way around here. Try that one around, go with that date, and then put this one here. Cool. Okay. So what I wanted to do here is, and this one is a bit circular. That's why it's kind of a bit difficult to do. So actually, I'm just going to kind of change that around a bit, and put that one up there, and then put this one down here. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. So I want the arrows to kind of run downhill. Reason being, think about filtering. I'm filtering a value, and then kind of below that, I want the kind of filtering to apply below this. So if I look at the arrows. And I got kind of arrow, I've got the one side here in product going down, filtering into sales fact. And the same for BI date. We've got some dates there that we're filtering on the date column, date table, filtering into sales fact. Similar for manufacturer, I'm filtering into product, which is then filtering into sales fact. And BI manufacturer is also filtering into sentiment. And we do have another dotted relationship here. Now, what that means is the one side is on the product, the star is on the multiple side, but it's inactive. So if I double click on it, you'll notice that we have the inactive relationship. If I try and click it, it's going to give me an error. Because basically it will create what's called a circular reference. It's going to have ambiguity between the databases and between the data sets. So I can choose to have kind of this one active or this kind of link active. Okay, so if I made this inactive, I could come into this one and I can make this one active. So the dotted means it's inactive. So here I've got filter from manufacturer to product and then from product to sentiment. I'd probably want to have that, to be honest, as my kind of filtering path as opposed to the manufacturing to sentiment. Now what I do is I've got a relationship here. Now that means I can still use it in measures by using a user relationship DAX expression. And we won't cover that today, but we're going to show you one of the keywords, one of the sessions we're going to do will be on kind of items like using inactive relationships in relationships. So all of this comes down to, let's go back to here, kind of going to the prepare the data in August. This is what we're doing in terms of the overall learning. Model the data is another kind of functional category inside of the DA-100, and we're doing that model the data in September. So 13 videos against that. Visualize the data is going to be October. We've got 13 videos for that. And then we've got 13 videos split between analyze the data and deploy and maintain the rules. So essentially there's 13 visual videos in November, but we're kind of doing these two categories. They're 10 to 15% of all of the content in questions. Visualize the data is 20 to 25. Model the data will be a 25 to 30%. And prepare the data is 20 to 25. So roughly you're kind of looking at about 20 to 25% per month of content across 13 videos. So each one goes into quite a bit of detail. And if you want to know the details of what we have there, let's go to Microsoft Learn certifications. We're going to go to browse certifications. We're going to go down to the DA-100 and we're going to go into the exam. And what you want to do is look at what the skills are being measured. And here you can see those percentages I just mentioned. And if I do the skills outline, basically, you can see here, prepare the data is then broken into smaller categories like get data from different data sources. And in there, we've got individual kind of tasks. And so episode 1 was these first two. Episode 2 will be these next two. So roughly we're doing kind of probably 2 of these for every episode. Varies very slightly occasionally, but mostly it's going to be 2 for each one. And we're going to go through. So if you look at kind of down, what we will be doing is in the description, each one, I will be calling out exactly which of these modules, sections we're calling. And at the beginning of each of those episodes as well, I'll be kind of doing that. And so there'll be chapters, there'll be details. We're kind of also going to be doing closed captions on this as well. So we have to kind of ability to have a nice run through. These take a while to kind of prepare, and let's say there's 50 of them to do. So I've got my work cut out in the next couple of months to build these together. But what we wanted to do was to bring the content to you in a nice, easily biteable kind of consumption, and have that. You can go refer back to it. You can skip the ones that are not relevant. Hey, I really all know about this prepared data, but I do need to go and kind of work on my visualize the data section. Okay, go and have a look at those videos. You don't have to necessarily go through all of them. We will also remind you about the Pluralsight Role IQ. Let me kind of just Pluralsight Role IQ. And again, I'll put these links in the window. And basically, this allows you to go into Pluralsight, and it's a collaboration with Microsoft and Pluralsight to test your base kind of skills where you are right now. So the BI Data Analyst self-service, if we go in here, you'll see that there's a Power BI for Analyst section. And we've kind of done an example skill, so kind of middle expert range on this one, but you can get personalized content and it will tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are on this. So you kind of, hey, I'm good at this, but you know what? I could really do some additional stuff in these areas. And then you can come back a month later and retake your report test in here. And you go, you know what? Well, I was at say 180, I'm now at 220. Okay. And then kind of, I would say to take the exam, you want to be in the kind of high 180s and above. You want to kind of start getting into the kind of towards the high proficiency, early expert level above. If you're well into expert, you're probably going to be good enough for the exam. But anything, I get some questions earlier today is like, can I just take these courses while I'll be ready for the exam? I would say you need some hands-on. So we're going to give you information about specific labs and other resources available that are completely free that you can go and do. But of course, there's also the DA-100 4-day instructor-led course you can go on as well. Okay, so let's go back to this here. We're going to go back to the main sections. If you want to do your preparation, there's two ways, online, free. This takes you to the Microsoft Power BI. And actually, let's go just for the top, actually, go to the certifications for a sec. Come down to here, because I like the journey to certification. This really helps me kind of highlight where you are. This is where you're starting from. You know, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do a look at an outline of the skills that are being measured. You're going to do some self-paced learning, potentially instructor-led, and you're going to also go and look at things on hands-on labs and Microsoft Docs. And Power BI itself has a wealth of PowerBI.com. I'm going to bring up that website. Go to your resources, go to learn, come in here, go to guided learning, and get started with all of these sections for self-paced learning. And there's a lot of them. They're all kind of 10, 15, 20 minutes. And you can just pick one, like I want to create some measures. Okay, it's going to start taking you through. There's often a video as well. That's that Access database, by the way, that I was mentioning earlier. You can go and access that from here. And then you're going to bring it in and start building maybe a time dimensional year-to-date expression. So you're going to come in and start building the code. And it will also explain what it is. So we have full instructions on here. Look, we are on the hour or just a minute over. Okay, I wanted to call this at kind of the 30-minute mark for today. It's been a pleasure. If you're new here and you're still around, thank you very much. Give me the thumbs up if you like what you saw. Subscribe in download. Go and look at some of the other videos. We've already got 10 live streams and 1 episode, and say the other 5 episodes will be coming out this week. So put that notification bell on and give us a kind of view of what you're seeing. And if you weren't lucky enough and didn't get your prize, and I will let the winner know soon, come back tomorrow and we will do the draw again. Your names will go into the next tomorrow's draw with everybody else that comes in, and you've got a chance to win again. And again, on Thursday, we've got a final draw. So 3 seats up for grabs over the 2 courses we have, and a 50% discount on our amazing 895 price, which is a third of everybody else's anyway, if you want to join us. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you very, very soon. Okay, so bye for now.